Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi underscores India's transformative reforms undertaken in 2025, says India has boarded the Reform Express, leading to build a Viksit Bharat. Saudi-led coalition strikes Yemeni port over unauthorized weapons shipment. Asked UAE forces to leave within 24 hours. Yemen declares state of emergency. US carries out its first land strike in Venezuela. Hits a docking area for boats used by drug traffickers. India's Hindustan Aeronautics Limited's next generation civil helicopter Dhruv NG takes to skies for first time, highlighting country's rise as the world's third largest domestic aviation market. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday highlighted a series of path-breaking reforms across multiple sectors, saying they have added momentum to India's growth journey and strengthened efforts to build a developed nation. In posts on X and LinkedIn, the Prime Minister underscored reforms spanning labour laws, trade agreements, logistics, energy and markets, noting that India's growth is anchored in credibility, stability and long-term confidence. Prime Minister's office also shared an article on Reform Express 2025, reflecting on the steady cumulative governance efforts that have helped clear bottlenecks over time. And DD India's Arun Sharma joins us on the phone line on this story. Hi Arun, India has boarded the Reform Express and this journey will certainly take Bharat towards its vision of Viksit Bharat or developed India. What all are the areas, Arun, where special focus is given on?
Well, it's a holistic approach as far as the reforms are concerned. And Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has highlighted that India has boarded the Reform Express. And in the last 1 decade, the kind of reforms India has undertaken, it has benefited all the strata of the society of our country, be it women. The focus, of course, is on women, the farmers, people belonging to the marginalized section of the society, and of course, the youth of our country. So these are some of the key strata that is benefiting the most as far as the reforms are being undertaken. Now recently, the biggest takeaway you can consider of reforms is
Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and senior Niti Aayog officials, including Vice Chairman Suman Berry and CEO BVR Subramaniam, were also present. The discussions focused on assessing current economic situation and seeking expert inputs to address emerging challenges ahead of finalizing key fiscal decisions. India's Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu inaugurates Advanced Light Helicopter Next Generation, also known as Dhruv NG. The Advanced Light Helicopter Next Generation Dhruv is a civil variant of the indigenous helicopter. Was also showcased by HAL in 2025 Aero India show. This event marks a significant milestone for Hindustan Aeronautics Limited as it expands into the civil aviation sector. The Dhruv NG is a civil variant of the ALH Mark III powered by Shakti engines and features a civil certified glass cockpit. It has a maximum cruise speed of 250 km per hour, a large fuel tank and can be used for various purposes including heli tourism, VIP travel, offshore operations, medical services and rescue.
The most anticipated moment for today in this event was us seeing that Dhruv NG flying in the skies. That was the most anticipated moment. And for it to be successfully done, I think marks a very, very important milestone in the Indian aviation history. I commend each and every member of HAL family here today for advancing India's Atmanirbhar Bharat beyond defense into civil aviation.
Let's take a look at some of the features of the Advanced Light Helicopter. The Advanced Light Helicopter Next Generation, also known as Dhruv NG, is an advanced version of the existing Dhruv helicopter platform. It marks Hindustan Aeronautics Limited's entry into the civil aviation sector and reflects its broader efforts to promote indigenous aviation technology. The helicopter is the civil variant of the ALH Mark III, which is currently in service with the Indian Armed Forces. Powered by Shakti engines, the ALH NG features a civil certified glass cockpit offering enhanced safety and operational efficiency. It has a maximum cruise speed of 250 km per hour and can accommodate 9 to 14 passengers, making it suitable for a wide range of civilian applications. The advanced light helicopter next generation is well suited for a variety of critical civilian roles. It can provide emergency medical services in remote or congested areas. The helicopter is also capable of offshore operations, offering reliable support to oil and gas rigs. Its performance enables high-altitude search and rescue missions as well as disaster relief operations in challenging terrains. Additionally, the ALH NG will play a key role in enhancing connectivity to underserved and remote regions, supporting regional air connectivity initiatives such as the UDAN scheme. The valedictory function of Kashi Tamil Sangamam 4.0 was held on Tuesday at Alayam Grounds, Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu, with Vice President of India C.P. Radhakrishnan as the chief guest, marking the conclusion of a unique cultural and academic confluence between Kashi and Tamil Nadu. Inspired by the vision of India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to strengthen India's cultural bonds, Kashi Tamil Sangamam 4.0, which began on December 2nd, 2025, this edition focused on Let Us Learn Tamil, Tamil Karkalam, highlighting Tamil language learning and linguistic unity at the center of the Sangamam. And the event was attended by India's Minister of Education, Dharmendra Pradhan, the Governor of Tamil Nadu, R.N. Ravi, and India's Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, Dr. L. Murugan. Organized by the Ministry of Education, KTS 4.0 continues to celebrate India's rich cultural tapestry and unity. The year 2025 brought unprecedented natural disasters across the globe, from deadly typhoons in Asia to record heat waves in Europe. Communities faced floods, earthquakes and wildfires, yet stories of resilience and solidarity shone through. Let's take a look.
In 2025, the world faced the immense power of nature. Yet within every storm, quake and heat wave, the spirit of humanity shone through. Communities braved adversity, neighbors supported one another, and relief workers acted with courage. A reminder that resilience is as vital as the challenges we face. The Philippines faced Typhoon Matmo in early October, leading to large-scale evacuations, followed by Typhoon Kalmegi in southern Leyte region, the deadliest disaster of the year there. Super Typhoon Fang Wong struck Aurora province with winds of 185 kilometers per hour. Its rain bans flooding over 1,000 homes in Taiwan. Myanmar endured a devastating 7.7 magnitude earthquake near Mandalay, killing over 3,000 people and causing damage across Thailand and Vietnam. Sri Lanka faced Cyclone Ditwa along its eastern coast, resulting in hundreds of fatalities. And later, Cyclone Senyar struck northern Sumatra region, Indonesia, causing landslides and over 400 casualties. Across Pakistan, floods affected nearly 7 million people, triggering massive rescue and relief operations. Powerful 8.8 magnitude earthquake shook Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. The tremor triggered tsunami warnings across Japan. The alert tested preparedness and highlighted the resilience of communities in Japan and the wider East Asian region. In West Asia, wildfires raced through Syria's countryside, threatening villages and farmland. In Iran, flames reached the Hyrcanian forests, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, ancient ecosystems once protected by climate stability now faced destruction. Along the Indian Ocean, storms began to form earlier and travel farther than expected. Cyclone Dikledi gathered strength over warm waters, pushing heavy rain and violent winds toward eastern Africa. Madagascar faced tropical cyclone Honte, displacing tens of thousands and destroying thousands of homes. Severe floods hit Tanzania and Nigeria, with Mokwa, Niger recording hundreds of fatalities, while communities mobilized to provide shelters, medical aid and reconstruction. While Ethiopia experienced about 50 earthquakes along the Afar Oromia Rift, recording magnitudes between 4.2 and 5.8, Heli Guppy volcano erupted in Ethiopia for the first time in 10,000 years, spewing ash that disrupted air travel far beyond Africa. Europe experienced its warmest June on record, with heat waves claiming at least 16,500 lives by mid-September. Heat domes and record-high Mediterranean sea temperatures drove peaks over 46 degrees Celsius in Spain and Portugal. Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula also erupted, with the Sundnukur volcano sending plumes of ash into the sky, prompting evacuations. In the United States, March tornado outbreaks swept across the Mississippi Valley, including an enchanted Fujita Scale 5 tornado in North Dakota, the first such classification in 12 years, causing fatalities and widespread damage. In January, California faced twin wildfires in Los Angeles suburbs, destroying over 16,000 structures and displacing 41,000 people. In South America, Argentina's Bahia Blanca region experienced record rainfall, forcing over 1,000 evacuations, while a tornado in Brazil's Parana state killed 6 and injured hundreds. Across continents, 2025 tested the limits of nature and humanity alike. Communities rebuilt homes, rescued neighbors, and adapted to unprecedented challenges. A reminder that in the face of adversity, the human spirit remains unyielding and hope continues to guide the way forward. Urvashi Dwivedi for DD India.
And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Russia accuses Kyiv of firing drones at Vladimir Putin's residence. India will look to continue their domination and complete a 5-0 series whitewash against Sri Lanka in the 5th and final Women's T20 International.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Saudi Arabia declared a separatist advance in Yemen as a threat to Riyadh's national security on Tuesday and called Abu Dhabi's actions highly dangerous as the conflict boiled over into an open dispute between Gulf powers. The strongly worded Foreign Ministry statement came after the Saudi-led coalition fighting in Yemen said it had struck a weapons shipment destined for separatist forces. Riyadh also backed a demand from Yemen's Presidential Council for Emirati forces to withdraw from the country within 24 hours and urged Abu Dhabi to cut off military and financial support for Yemeni groups. The leader of Yemen's Presidential Council, which sits atop that government, also declared a state of emergency and cancelled a security pact with Abu Dhabi after the forces of Southern Transitional Council seized swathes of territory. Earlier, the Saudi-led coalition said it targeted a large quantity of weapons and combat vehicles sent by the UAE for the secessionist forces. The coalition struck 2 ships carrying a large quantity of weapons and combat vehicles to support the Southern Transitional Council forces. US President Donald Trump on Tuesday announced that the United States carried out its first land strike in Venezuela. Talking to media, Trump said confirmed that the US forces hit a dock facility used to lead boats allegedly carrying drugs in Venezuela.
There was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. They load the boats up with drugs. So we hit all the boats and now we hit the area. It's the implementation area. That's where they implement. And that is no longer...
This was the first US operations on Venezuelan soil since the Trump administration launched an aggressive campaign against drug trafficking networks. Until now, US strikes had forced on boats in international waters in the Caribbean Sea and the Eastern Pacific Ocean. And the US military also carried out a strike on boats suspected of drug trafficking in international waters in the Eastern Pacific Ocean on Monday. US Southern Command said the Joint Task Force Southern Spear conducted a lethal kinetic strike on the vessel, killing 2 men. The military also said that no US personnel were injured during the operation. Since September, the US military has carried out at least 30 strikes on what it says are boats used to smuggle drugs to the United States, with the majority of the attacks occurring in the Eastern Pacific and some in the Caribbean Sea. Russia has accused Kyiv of firing drones at Vladimir Putin's residence between Moscow and St. Petersburg, announcing it would revise its negotiating position on ending the conflict. In an audio statement, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said Ukraine fired 91 drones at Putin's official residence in Novgorod region overnight, adding that all of them were destroyed by air defenses. US President Donald Trump said on Monday that Russian President Vladimir Putin told him a swarm of Ukrainian drones had allegedly targeted one of its residences. However, Kyiv denied the claim. Speaking to reporters ahead of a meeting with Netanyahu, Trump said the Russian leader raised the issue during a call earlier in the day.
I heard about it this morning. You know who told me about it? President Putin told me about it. Early in the morning, he said he was attacked. It's no good. It's no good. Don't forget, you know, the Tomahawks. I stopped the Tomahawks. I didn't want that. Because we're talking about, you know, it's a delicate period of time. This is not the right time. It's one thing to be offensive, because they were offensive. It's another thing to attack his house. It's not the right time to do any of that, and can't do it. And I learned about it from President Putin today. I was very angry about it.
Ukraine said Tuesday there was no plausible evidence it launched a drone attack on one of Vladimir Putin's homes, accusing Russia of making false claims to manipulate the peace process. The Kremlin said attempts by Ukraine and Western media to deny the incident were insane and that Russia should not have to provide evidence for the alleged attack as all the drones were shot down. Moscow's allegation comes at a pivotal moment in the nearly 4-year war. The Kremlin said Tuesday it would toughen its negotiating position in response to the alleged attack. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed his concern over an alleged drone strike on the residence of the Russian president. In a post on X, Prime Minister Modi said he was deeply concerned by reports of the targeting of the residence of the President of the Russian Federation. He said ongoing diplomatic efforts remain the most viable way to end hostilities and achieve peace, urging all sides to avoid actions that could undermine those efforts. Former Prime Minister and Bangladesh Nationalist Party chairperson Khaleda Zia passed away early on Tuesday while undergoing treatment at Evercare Hospital in Dhaka. She was 80. The party's media cell said Khaleda Zia died while recovering medical care at the private hospital, where she had been admitted due to serious health complications. Khaleda Zia, a 2-time Prime Minister, was one of the most prominent figures in Bangladesh's politics for decades and served as BNP chairperson for many years. Remembering former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Khaleda Zia, Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared pictures on X. He wrote, and I quote, "Deeply saddened to learn about the passing away of former Prime Minister and BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia in Dhaka. Our sincerest condolences to her family and all the people of Bangladesh. May the Almighty grant her family the fortitude to bear this tragic loss. As the first woman Prime Minister of Bangladesh, her important contributions towards the development of Bangladesh as well as India-Bangladesh relations will always be remembered. I recall my warm meeting with her in Dhaka in 2015. We hope that her vision and legacy will continue to guide our partnership. May her soul rest in peace." Unquote. Bangladesh has declared 3 days of state mourning following the death of former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia, including a one-day general public holiday on Wednesday. Funeral prayers for Khaleda Zia will be held on Wednesday at the South Plaza of the Jatiya Sangsad Complex and Manik Mia Avenue in Dhaka, after which she will be laid to rest beside her husband, former President Ziaur Rahman. Earlier, the Advisory Council passed a condolence resolution and observed a minute's silence as political leaders and organizations across Bangladesh paid tribute to her long political career and role in the country's democratic movements. Meanwhile, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will represent the government and people of India at the funeral of Begum Khaleda Zia. He will visit Dhaka on 31st of this month, that is tomorrow, for this purpose. And time now for some sports news. India will look to continue their domination and complete a 5-0 series whitewash against Sri Lanka in the 5th and final Women's T20 International set to begin at 7 p.m. in Thiruvananthapuram. India have been clinical all through the series, restricting Sri Lanka to totals under 130 and getting home with at least 5 overs and 7 wickets in hand. Sri Lanka have had tough time going past the duo of Smriti Mandhana and Shafali Verma, who helped set up the hosts' highest T20I total. The 5-match series has formed a significant part of India's preparation for the T20 World Cup in England in June-July next year. India have opted for a more aggressive style of playing, a shift that has yielded 2 series wins this year. Following Tuesday's game, India will play 3 T20Is each in Australia and England before the showpiece event. Australian cricket legend Don Bradman's baggy green test cap is set to go under the hammer in January 2026. One of Bradman's caps will be auctioned at Lloyd's Auctions, with bidding starting at $1 and closing on January 26, 2026. The great cricketer gifted one of his test caps to a fellow cricketer, and since then it has remained with the family for more than 70 years. The cap will draw international interest from private collectors, museums, institutions and fans. Bradman wore this cap during the 1947-48 series against the first Indian team to tour Australia. The series saw Bradman amassing 715 runs from 6 innings. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Prasar Bharati from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.